Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing awesome. So today's video is going to be a 2 months update on this unit from Allove hair. So if you're not new to my channel, then you definitely would have seen this wig before. I would link the original video in the description box. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend you see that video because I went into more detail. So this video is just going to be on how the wig is holding up and whether it's worth your coins. Now, I think wig updates are very important, especially if you're a buyer. Like if I were to buy wigs, I would definitely look for updates just to see how the unit is holding up, because if I'm going to spend so much money, I need to make sure that it will last me a good amount of time. So that's what today's video is going to be about. So I don't want to waste too much of your time. I just want to head straight into the review. So this wig is from Allove hair. I believe it's their 20 or 22 inches. I'm not so sure. So I do have my notepad here and I will be reading out some points just so we can have a more organized structure. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is shedding. Now this hair actually does not shed much. I've worn this unit I think about 6 to 7 times. I posted it twice on my Instagram, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, please follow me. I'll leave my IG handle on the screen or in the description box. So yeah, I posted it. I've posted it twice on Instagram rather, and I've worn it about 6 or 7 times, but I've only washed it once. So when I washed it, it didn't shed that much, just 1 or 2 strands here and there. That's when I brushed it out, you know, just to clump up the curls. However, just on a regular day, I don't brush it. I just like use my fingers to detangle it when I spray some water. So doing that, I don't actually receive shedding. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, 1 or 2 strands here and there, but nothing major. The next is the smell. Now, I have to admit, I don't know if I mentioned in the original video, but when this unit came, when I washed it and it was wet, it did have a smell, but when it dried, it didn't have any smell. So that's been the same thing. Like every time I just use water to like dampen it or like just to hydrate the curls, it does have a little bit of a smell, but once it dries, like, yeah, there's no smell now. So that's just something that you should have in mind. What I do is I use my, I don't have it here, but I use my Carol's Daughter liquid leave-in conditioner. So it's basically like water, but it smells amazing. So that way I'm like combating the smell, and it really works. So I highly recommend you get a liquid leave-in conditioner that has a great smell, because I don't like using products like all the creams and all on my wigs, except it's like really kinky curly hair. But for like loose curls like this, I'll just rather use water or a liquid leave-in conditioner. Next is the density of this unit. I believe this is a 150 or a 180. I'm not so sure. But this unit, because it doesn't shed that much, the density is pretty much the same. And one thing I really like about this unit is it doesn't get like poofy or like extra frizzy, because you know sometimes with curly hair, when you like style it with the products and then you go out and come back in, it gets bigger. But with this hair, the same way you style it before you leave the house is almost the same way it is when you come back home, regardless of how humid it is, which is what I like. Now, of course, if you don't touch it, if you leave your hands out of your hair, it will be that way. But the more you do this and that, is definitely gonna get poofier and like more frizzy. So that's just something you should consider. And this also would lead to the texture of this hair. I believe this is a loose wave or a deep wave. No, I think it's more of a deep wave. I'm not so sure. It definitely has retained its texture. Once you use water, it literally pops right back. I don't use like mousse and all those things or like heavy creams. I just use liquid leave-in conditioner or water, and I just like use my fingers to comb it. I don't use a brush because the hair is so soft and it's almost like tangle free. So I don't feel like I need to do all that extra stuff. And guys, when I tell you I've been very careless with this wig, like I literally just wear it, and when I take it off, I just throw it randomly. I don't put it in a satin bag. I don't do nothing. But once I use water, the curls like come back. And the first time I lay this unit down, I used Got To Be Frizz spray. However, I haven't used Got To Be in a while. Like all I do is just like spray some water on the closure area to like activate the glue, and then it kind of like sticks on my head. I don't even know if that's hygienic, but it works for me. And it saves me like using Got To Be and, you know, the blow dryer and stuff. So I've been wearing this unit just as a regular closure wig without gluing it down, and it's been working. Like it doesn't slip out of my head, and it's, you know, a perfect fit. Now next is the color after washing this unit. I don't honestly think I can give you guys an adequate response to this, because like I said, I've only washed it twice. So when I first received it, and once after the first time I washed it. So I mean, I did see like a little bit of color in the sink when I was washing it, but it's colored hair. Come on, like it's supposed to lose some color. But what I highly recommend is that you use a purple shampoo so you don't lose as much color. That's what I use now, and it's been working for me. But next we have styling. Now, styling of this unit, I have to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of the closure. It does have like very large knots, and it doesn't come pre-bleached or pre-plucked. It's definitely a wig that you need to customize. Now, I would have bleached the knots, but I was waiting for my bleach and it just came. So it's like, what do I do now? I really want to film this video. So I would definitely bleach it off camera and maybe do some plucking and some tweezing. But straight out of the box, I definitely feel like you need to do some customization. Like even when I use powder, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's like not as flawless, if that makes sense. Like you have to use a lot of foundation, a lot of powder, and sometimes I don't like that powdery foundation look. It kind of like just gives it away that it's a wig. So yeah, in terms of styling, that's the only downside. However, you don't actually need to do much. Like I feel like I've only used my flyaway tamer like once or twice, and it just stays, like the wig lays. I've only used my hot comb once. That was the first time I installed this wig. I haven't needed to use it again, considering the fact that I'm always throwing this wig around. Like it stays, okay guys? Like when she stays, she stays. So that's the good thing about this wig. And last is the feel. So she still feels very, very soft, I have to admit. Considering how I've been throwing her around, I thought she would be like Steffiana right now, but she still has a lot of body, which is good. In general, out of 5, I'll give this unit a I'll say a 4.6 out of 5. I'm not giving it a 4.9 because the knots I do not like, and sometimes the smell when it's wet. So like, what if you want to do a wet look? Like that's a bit of a bummer. So that's the only reason I'm giving it a 4.6. If those two things were not there, it will definitely be a 5 or a 4.9, because this unit is actually very pretty and it's very complimentary on my skin tone, and I feel like it will be complimentary on any skin tone because it's not too light. It's like a very subtle toned wig. So I definitely think it's worth getting it if you want like a Beyonce inspired wig, but just be ready to bleach the knots and to do some customization. Yeah guys, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to check the description box for the old video and every single detail on this wig. I hope to see you guys in my next video. God bless. Bye guys. Mwah.